Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch is the first sports watch from the Gronefeld brothers, Tim and Bart of Oldenzaal in the Netherlands. The horological brothers launching this steel model back in 2022. It is the 1969 DELTAWORKS. 1969 for the year that Bart Gronefeld was born. And DELTAWORKS is an enormous network of water control infrastructure in Holland that required 43 years to build, and it's been called a modern wonder of the world. So this watch, which is water resistant, is an homage to the DELTAWORKS of Holland. The timepiece has a couple of different metrics. One is difficult to define. You may have seen it quoted as 44.5 millimeters, but also as 43.3. Let me clarify. The case is 43.3. When you add these steel inserts, which can also be optionally rubber, then the total diameter, if you were to measure it diagonally, for example, would be the 44.5 number. So the case is 43.3, and then with the inserts, it extends to 44.5. It's not a thick watch, all things considered. 12.8 millimeters thick, 52.7 from lug to lug. I measure a 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. There are a couple of options on this watch, and we'll talk about that in a moment. On my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, it does wear well. Now, the Gronefelds originally launched their brand with much larger watches because that's what Tim and Bart prefer. And so after scaling down, they decided to go back to the big watch for their sports model. And so this is not the 1941 case, which is 39.5. This is the 1969. And it's flat. You'll be surprised to see it will fit underneath a dress cuff, though you're going to need a big wrist. I think if your wrist is my size or larger, game on. If your wrist is smaller than mine, you're going to want to go with one of the 1941 case Gronefeld watches. But it is very thin. Over the top, down the barrel. Okay, the strap, let's talk about the options. You've got a couple of dial options. This one is described as orange with khaki. This is described as the military olive green strap. And then the inserts. You've seen this watch with rubber inserts, but you don't have to get those. You can opt for these steel inserts, or you can opt for the rubber inserts, which are generally color keyed to match your strap. So this has the steel inserts, a little bit more of an upscale look compared to the rubber. In terms of the case itself, we have a screw-down crown. We have 100-meter water resistance. You can see there is actually quite a bit of nuance here. This is made by the Gronefeld's case supplier, FTOR, which is a Richemont-associated company in Switzerland. And you can see we have steps, we have fluting, we have polish, we have satin, and that the detail is quite intricate. There's a lot to love here, and the longer you look, the more you find. We have a conical Gronefeld branded crown. It is a screw-down. The watch features a dial that is luminescent. We'll take a look at that now. And you can see it is quite well loomed. In spite of using an orange, a Dutch orange variant of Superluminova, you don't give up any luminous punch. Now, the timepiece does have several different dial features. We have subtle blue printing, a little note that this is made in Oldenzaal in the Netherlands. We have a Dutch 60 on the small seconds. We've got blued hands. They are large. Alpha-style hands for the hour and minute, and a Lancet-style counterweighted running seconds hand. You can see we have an inner disc as well as an inner disc on different planes for the outer dial, inner dial, and sub-seconds. And then the cannon pinion as well as the center of the minute hand, beautifully polished. Same thing for the seconds hand. Attention to detail is surpassing. All of the indices and the numeral 12 are appliqué. Turn it over now. You can see the strap is designed to be cut to length, so we will make sure this is cut properly for you. There are many pre-scored divisions, so you're going to have it cut properly and precisely for your wrist size when you buy this. There's a little bit of a wave or nautical motif molded in. We have a clasp that you will have seen elsewhere, but it does capable duty here. It's got a little push-button incremental slider internally, so you can make fine adjustments as your wrist expands or contracts. Gronefeld branded, polished and satin, twin trigger release. Oldenzaal, the Netherlands, that is the home of the Gronefeld brothers, their family, and their company. Externally, you can see the branding, the break between satin and polish. You can also see the anchoring points of the strap inside of the clasp. Rolling around to the movement. Of course, this is the same movement that you'll recognize from the 1941 Principia, and it is a Andreas Streller architecture, but the Gronefelds call it G06, and they've really made it their own by subbing in steel bridges, crafting them entirely to their specifications. Everything from the multiply finished and hand-executed rotor and mass to those triply finished steel bridges to the ruthenium-coated and engine-turned brass baseplate is very distinctive of the Gronefeld brothers watchmaking. Now this is, if you look very carefully, a rotor that winds on ceramic bearings for efficiency. It energizes a 56-hour power reserve. All this beats at 3 hertz, so 21,600 vibrations per hour. 56-hour power reserve beaten away on a full balance bridge with a free sprung balance. Those two standards allowing for great shock resistance, apropos in a sports watch. The bridges are steel for 2 reasons. One, it's more durable. The Gronefelds come from a restoration background, and they saw a lot of watches with damaged bridges, so their first solution was to make their own bridges out of steel. Their second solution was to go with the tripartite finishing scheme that you see here, where there's a recess that's media blasted, then we have a raised satin channel around the edge of the bridge, and then the outer face is polished beveling, and mirror polished beveling, as you can see, the good stuff. Now, the reason they do that is because they saw a lot of watches with Geneva waves or stripes that had damage to the stripes, and you cannot restore those, whereas you can restore the media blast, the satin, and the polish. So in addition to going with steel, because it's more durable, they used finishing styles that can be resurrected by subsequent artisans if damage occurs in the meantime. There is quite a lot of decoration going on here. Screw heads are polished with chamfered slots and circumference. We have engine-turned engraving, that little wave motif from the strap recurs on the mass of the rotor. You can see solarization over the ball bearing. The arms of the rotor have been satinated on their tops and then beveled on their sides. You can also appreciate the use of little golden chaton cups to nod to the pocket watch era of watchmaking, back when golden chaton would have been used as the seat of a jewel, and then that would have been inserted into the bridge. Solarization on the barrel, 6-position adjustment, one more than a standard chronometer. It's a 31 joule movement, and it's large sized at 32 millimeters, so it properly fills this large case back. You can also see the Gronefeld's distinctive wheel design, which includes a twin spoke. You can see the twin spoke carries on to the largest wheel on the movement, which is the rotor itself. Everything about this watch is distinctive. They are auteur watchmakers. So though this is a Streller architecture, it is distinctly Gronefeld in every other regard, right down to the bell gable shape of the bridges, designed to look like the roofs of traditional Dutch houses. And they're fun guys. The Gronefeld brothers and their first sports watch. This watch is ready for anything. You can even see they include a little Gronefeld monogram on the bottom of the strap. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.